This is MAGOI, a closed community Roblox game based off of one of my favorite series, Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. And today my goal is to give some of you guys who might be lost or not knowing what to do, a guide on how to get stronger and better at the game. For now, this will only be a quick and smooth beginner guide, but if you guys want a little bit more insight or maybe a bit of a more advanced guide, get this video to 100 likes and sub up and follow me on Twitch, and maybe I'll consider making one. But for now, let's get into how you start. When you first load into the game, you'll be shown this cutscene. This is where you'll be asked to choose your name and your kingdom. There are 6 kingdoms to choose from. Me personally, I chose Sindria. One thing you should keep in mind when choosing your kingdom is the activity of that kingdom. You don't want to choose a kingdom that is never online and you won't get any help from. I should note also that no kingdom is the same. Every kingdom is different, and the NPCs that will be around are different. Also, the starter weapons will be different too. Alright, I'm done yapping now. Time for me to tell you about the starter quest. The first thing you want to do right out the gate is talk to this person right here. You can ask him, how do I get stronger? And he'll tell you that the doctor can give you a growth relic ticket. Growth relics are very important to prog because they are how you level up and get stronger. But when you first grab this quest, there will be a compass that will pop up at the top right of your screen. This compass is really important and it will show up a lot during your progression cycle. What you're going to want to do is follow this compass north because it'll always point you into the direction that you need to go. I'll go into more depth about this compass later in the video. So if you want, just skip ahead to that part. I'll have it timestamped in the description. The game will show you the compass again when it's time for you to go to the Mystic Cellar. One thing I do want to say that I thought was really cool was that when you say your name in the chat and when other people say their name in the chat, you actually learn their name and they pop up on the top right of your screen. Now that you made it to the doctor, you're going to ask him for the growth relic ticket, and he's going to tell you to go ahead and give it to the Mystic Cellar. The Mystic Cellar is where you're going to be able to buy your staves for mages and your growth relics. You also got your blacksmith that gives you your starter weapon. Now please remember to look at the top right of your screen as another compass will show up showing you where the Mystic Cellar is. Now that you've made it to the Mystic Cellar, what you're going to want to do is tell him that you have a growth relic ticket. He'll give you a growth relic and now you will be able to progress. Before I teach you guys how to level up, I'm going to tell you guys about all the merchants. We got blacksmith, chef, clothing, doctor, Mystic Cellar, and potion. There's also a bank, but you can only put money in there.
But I have no money.
If you want to know the locations for all of these guys, just ask someone in your kingdom because they're all different. Now your inventory is pretty self-explanatory. All you gotta do is hit tab to open it up. It's kind of like a backpack, so the bigger the items are, the more space it takes up. And if you have too much stuff in your backpack, you won't be able to put any other items in there. Now let's move on to items. Items can really make or break your build. Items can give you stats. Sometimes they could either be percentage based or they can just full on give you a stat point. The way you can see how much stats a specific item is giving you is by scrolling down on it. Now let's dive into stats. What I would suggest is focusing on your passives. As a support mage, I focus heavily on defense and stamina. This is because they give really, and I mean really good passives. But that little orange number right there, that's how many skill points you have invested into said stat. And as you can see, I have 10 points invested into defense. Right here are your quest logs. This just shows you what active quest you have. And right here are your skills. This is where they will be if you do have any skills. Okay, so let's dive into the combat. So of course we got our basic M1 combo string. And right here we have our basic ground crit and aerial crit. And right here we got our block and our counter. Here's what it looks like when you actually land the counter. All these 4 icons right here do is just show your cooldown on these abilities. The one that kind of looks like a sniper is your heavy attack, the hand is your counter, and the shield is your block. I honestly don't know what that arrow one is. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, your air crit and ground crit share a cooldown. Now that we got all the extra stuff out of the way, I should probably tell you guys how to prog. The first thing you guys should do when progressing is consider the amount of styles there are to choose from. One good thing about being a warrior is that you can have a subclass. Each style will give you 4 skills, leaving you with 8 in total. You need combat EXP for both weapons in order to get your skills, but once you hit level 14 and complete your quest, it'll automatically give you enough combat EXP in order to get your second skill. Now we can finally get into the nitty gritty. The progression is very simple. Once you leave your kingdom and travel out into the wilderness, you start to get some indications with the compass. Whenever you see this compass, it's going to say something along the lines of, I sense something strong, or I sense something nearby. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to follow it north every single time, because if you follow it north, it will lead you in the direction of the mobs. These NPCs are extremely easy to kill. All you have to do is really just loop around them, and when you see them getting ready to charge up and attack, just Q dash to the other side of them. They're like extremely telegraphed. After you've killed them, another compass will pop up, leading you toward your rewards chest for killing them. In these rewards chests will be the items that I was talking about earlier that boost your stats. Now the reasons the items that you choose are important are because of the stats that they give you. You should typically grab items that kind of fit towards your build and help boost your build. Another really good thing to know about progression is that the NPCs will get stronger as you level up. So from level 1 to around 7, you'll be fighting these little zombie NPCs. Then from levels 8 to 10, you'll start fighting these bandit NPCs. And from then on, you'll be fighting your mages and knights. Now I'm going to explain to y'all boys how to level up. So when you're ready to level up, you'll have a glowing star in the middle of your health bar. Once you see that shiny star, I want you to pull out your growth relic, click on it, and then it'll give you 3 options to choose from. Those 3 options will be Forge, Ward, and Valor. Forge covers your utility stats, such as stamina, crit chance, and posture. Ward is all of your defensive stats, so health, defense, and posture. And Valor is all of your offensive stats, like damage, crit chance, and Magoi. Every 2 levels you get a passive, and as I said earlier, passives are really important for your build, as they can give some crazy unique buffs. One thing I should add is that the blacksmith has a quest. The reason why this quest is important is because he has a shop that rotates every hour. In this shop you can find some pretty rare items, and you can even find some spells. He's gonna ask you to find 10 stone swords and 10 gemstones, so just be on the lookout for those 2. There's also a quest that you have to do once you reach level 14, which basically consists of you gripping 3 people. You also won't gain any prog until you kill those people. I just have one more tip before I let you guys go. Once you hit level 10, you should consider going to Emuchuk. Emuchuk gives really good XP, and the mobs there aren't too difficult. Also, here's a list of the controls, and you can pick up medallions and the little fruit baskets that lie around your kingdom with G. Alright, I think that's enough hand holding. You guys should be ready enough now to go out and grow on your own. I hope you guys actually learned something valuable from this video. And remember, if you want a more advanced guide, get this video to 100 likes, and I got y'all. I appreciate you guys for staying this far. God bless, and I hope you enjoy the world of MAGOI.